So
I want.
Taboo put up this video, right? Moon map revisited, because somebody was trying to say that the underwater features were matching the features on the map, supposedly. Yeah, but the way they make up, the way they come up with the moon map is contrived, though. That's my whole problem. This is my problem with the moon map. Okay, so they take a picture of the moon, and then they put it through Photoshop filters. Okay, and here's the problem with putting stuff through photo. Right off the bat, right there, that is a big red flag for me. Because look, watch this. A picture of a moon that I took. Okay, I'm gonna open one of my own pictures of the moon. Okay, so here's my picture that I took of the moon, so that I know this is a real picture of the moon, right? So let me duplicate this so I have the original layer below, and then I'll only alter the layer on top so that we can hide it and, you know, and all that good stuff and compare. So what I'm gonna do is delete the background. See, this is the other thing. In Photoshop, you can set the tolerance to your tools, okay? You set the tolerance. So if I delete the moon underneath, right? I mean, it can be completely subjective how you do these. So this is, you know, unedited. So then, still looks like a big booby. It's not Earth reflection. I don't think it's an Earth reflection either, and I also don't think it's a map. I think it's pareidolia. I think people are seeing what they want to see, right? So, see how it's being put through different filters, like higher contrast, you know, unsharp mask, blah blah blah. Like right then, off the bat, okay, you're distorting it, and it's arbitrary, right? And then you just plop a dot on it. I mean, I just don't get how you can like draw this like distorted picture and then compare it to reality, because look at these land masses. They don't even look like they're the same shape as the land masses we know. I mean, vaguely, kinda, sorta, not really. And here's the thing. Like I said, the dark spots that they pick to make it match supposedly the land masses, it's completely subjective. No, it's not. They make it detailed using Photoshop. Don't you get it? See, this is why people are so fooled by this stuff. They're making it match. People are forcing it. It's humans working too hard to make it match. Right? So let's do these. Filter. What filters did he use? Oh yeah, unsharp mask. So check this out. Here's my problem. Okay, so you see, I wonder if do you guys see this dialog box? Okay, good. Now, do you see this dialog box for the unsharp mask filter? This is the unsharp mask filter that was being used on this last moon thing, right? Okay, so now I will take this over here, and so you can have a preview, right? So unsharp mask, and then you can sit here and you can move these sliders to do whatever you want it to do. Oh, here we go. Yeah, so here we go. So I can sit here and I can move this slider, you know, to give me any sort of, you know, result that I want it to have. I can increase this. I can look at this. So I can increase the amount, you know, and I can just keep doing it until it looks about right. Oh, nope, that's not enough. Oh, right there. Oh, keep going. Keep going. Oh, nope, too far. I'm going to go back. Do you see how subjective this is? Okay, so there's the first problem. When you start talking about, like, first we're going to put it through a filter. Okay? it's subjective because the filters have different intensity. All these filters have different intensity. Like I can select this filter and I can say, okay, or I can do image, adjust, curves. I could do it this way as well. You know, you can sit here and you can just arbitrarily move these little things everywhere and you can get it until it looks how you want it to look, right? So you can bring this over here, make the darkers dark, right? Over here, make the whiters white. You could just keep tweaking it until you start getting the result that you want, right? That's subjective. Yeah, but it's not, it's detailed because somebody created it in Photoshop. Don't you get it? Here's the thing. You know, you see this? The reason it looks detailed is because somebody put that picture there and they put the suggestion in your mind. They're creating graphics to create that confirmation bias, right? They're just you're arbitrarily picking this dark spot and that light spot. And oh, this one works and that one doesn't work. You know what I'm saying? Like it's arbitrary. And these different projections, I mean, it's just the same representation of the same, anytime you look at a different projection, it's just a different representation of the same two-dimensional data. And they just take their spots and they plug it into the computer and then the computer fills it out, right? Makes it conform to the new shape that you want to put your 2D, coordinate system on top of. How did they get the names of the moons on the names of the lands on the moon map? They made it up. You find a specific location. Scale of the map is the ratio used to correct the distance on the map projection to the corresponding distance on the ground. Okay. Like, I agree with all that, but here's where I have a problem. Here's where I have the problem. It's like, here, actually, let me go to the main channel. You've got more stuff, right? Vibes of Cosmos. So, what are we doing? Inverting it? First, we're inverting it, right? First of all, this is not right here. This is not what the moon looks like. Oh, you have to mirror it. Okay, so the moon map of Earth is so ridiculous. How could you possibly ever prove that? But hot damn, this topic will get you some clicks, right? I'm telling you. People love this stuff. So first of all, the moon is made to look like this. That's not what the moon looks like, though. This is a moon that's put through an arbitrary Photoshop filter. I just showed you how arbitrary those filters are. So look, go back to our moon. So let me hide this. Okay, so here's my moon. I think maybe I need a little more brightness on my moon. Let's do a little more contrast. Let's darken these spots up a little bit. Okay, let's make it easier. Well, I'm just gonna play along. Let's just play along. Okay, so there. I've made the moon a little bit more contrasty. So here, I'll put on my original. So I've gone from this to this. Not super different. I'd say that's still pretty true to the original moon. But also look right here in this lower left quadrant right here. Okay? Already losing detail there. Okay, so clearly it's changed a little bit already. Okay, so now, what's the next move? Flip the moon or flip that Earth map? Well, hold on. Okay, so is it supposed to be a reflection? Because I remember the guy saying on the stream the other night that it wasn't supposed to be a reflection. So is it supposed to be a reflection or not? Okay, so let's see. All right, how about this? Okay, image, transform. Okay, we're gonna further manipulate some shit. Edit, transform, flip, vertical. Okay? Is that good? Is it matchy matchy? Let's see. I still don't see it being matchy matchy, y'all. Okay, here. Let's see. We'll rotate it a little more. So we're going to take a really good look at Africa for one thing, because this, I can already see the bullshit. Okay, so let me try to get it to the right size, which is very difficult because this is some bullshit. This is some bullshit, y'all. Come on. All right. Maybe I got to rotate it more. Maybe smaller. Fuck, man. I don't know. Anyway, so, okay. So there's our, now it should be in the right orientation, right? Okay, so now let's look at what we're deriving this from. Okay? Let's look at where we're deriving this from. What the hell? How are they getting that for Africa? Because I see a big split here. This looks like something completely different than this. So this right here alone, the Africa part is a big fucking reach. Because look at this. Okay, so now let's do the, I can't remember all the filters they use. Anyway, so this, then they invert it. So you go from this altered moon to an inverted moon. And then to that. Okay, so check this out. Come on. Slow, playback speed, 0.25. Okay, so let's watch super slow, the fade. Okay. All right. What happened to this big white spot here? Why is that just being ignored? You know what I'm saying? Like this. And what is this? What is this? Is that supposed to be something? Where's America? You know, oh, okay. That's supposed to be America. Okay, so now if I look at the moon, the unaltered moon image right here, these down here that are supposed to be the Americas, they're like coming from nowhere. They're like coming from nowhere. Look at these, you know, you see how I'm saying how this arbitrary, you know, add contrast here, add, you know, take contrast there, use this filter, how much intensity on the filter. And you can literally make this thing look however you want it to look. So here, let's see. How about, there's another filter. So let me show you this. Oh, let me put this on the other page so you can watch this. This is perfect. Okay, so here, when you bring it up in the filter gallery, it's still too big, hold on. So when you bring it up in the filter gallery, so here's my moon picture, okay? Here, posterize edges. I can just change this number over here on the side, and it will change how it looks. See, look, I could just keep tweaking it until I get the right effect that I want, or shape that I want, or thickness that I want, or relief or darkness or whatever, right? Like I can just keep going, you know, and I could selectively leave stuff out and I can add stuff in. But as long as you're good enough at your graphic design and playing with Photoshop, you can make it look however you want it to look. So what about this? I can go in here. Oh, maybe this filter will do it more. Give me what I want. Oh, here we go. Highlight area. Green. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, how many different ways can we sit here and mess around until we get the result that we want? So I have flipped the map and I've reversed it. And so, you know, I still don't see matchy-matchy. I see where somebody took the blotches and tweaked them out to make them kinda, sorta, not even really fall into the same area, the same, you know, layout that the AE map is in, but it's not even that. It's not even close to being the same. Look at America. Why is North America look like this? This is not even close to being real. So what do the AE map proponents say about the huge difference in shape of these continents? I mean, this is ridiculous. Africa doesn't look anything like the Africa that we know. And then what gets me is when I take this off, where did it go? Where's the cape? The cape is gone. That point is gone. There's no point there. And how come there's, yeah. And then look at, okay, so there's this light spot that falls between what is supposed to be Africa and then Europe, right? Like that's supposed to be the Mediterranean, but the shape right here, it doesn't even match the shape that's on the map. It's not even close to being the same. Where, I mean, so, you know, I don't know, maybe my definition of very detailed and your definition of very detailed are very different, but I don't see any resemblance whatsoever to any sort of known landmass or map that we know about. Correlation, mostly contrast filter. Contrast? Okay, well, let's do some contrast. Let's see. So here, contrast is different. So you could do image adjustments here, right? There's a filter gallery. There's a filter menu where you apply different filters, which is where you're going to find your poster edges, your unsharp mask, that sort of thing, which I know was being used on the moon map. Or you can go over here to adjustments, brightness and contrast. Right? So I'll bring that. So brightness and contrast here. And again, these have sliders, right? So you can bring it up and down and place it wherever you want, right? So you can increase the brightness and then that gets washed out. Oh, so you increase the contrast and it makes the darkers dark, you know, and then you can just, you see how arbitrary this is? There's no, there's really nothing scientific about any of this. It's all about, you know, you having an imagination and having Photoshop and making it a fancy graphic and then creating a confirmation bias and putting fancy music over it. You know, this is, you know, what else can I say? And maybe it makes me boring, maybe it upsets people, but, you know, and I don't have any problem with people, you know, exploring these ideas and stuff, but you gotta really put it through the same, give it the same scrutiny that you gave the globe when you tried to debunk flat Earth, right? You gotta put everything through the same scrutiny. You can't just take these, you know, arbitrary points, these made up pictures, you know, these false images, and then use them to prove a point that doesn't exist. I mean, even when I inverted the piece and got it in the right spot, it doesn't match what I see on the moon. Like, not even close, you guys. Look how much changes and how much manipulation has to go into the image to get from this to this. And it doesn't even match correctly. It's not even right. And it doesn't even look like any map that we know. I mean, just the difference between the space here between South Africa and South America should tell you guys that this is not right, because there are shipping lanes and there are flights that go from West Africa or East Africa to South America. I mean, that's a real thing. They ship it. There's flights. So like, if this was really the lay of the land, then those things that go on today in commerce just wouldn't be possible. And by the way, that's a really good way to verify whether something is true or not, is look at the commerce surrounding the logistics of certain things that you're proposing. If certain things that you're proposing don't work in commerce, or commerce shows evidence of things working a certain way, then it's most likely the way it works as far as commerce, right? Because money is a major, major motivator. It's what all these corporations and stuff, these global corporations, they're all set up around commerce, right? So if something was not physically possible to do in the real world, then they wouldn't be making money doing it. Okay? So just think about that. Think about how many things you have to completely ignore to think that that has any resemblance to the plane that we're living on. It just doesn't work. Wait, is this supposed to be like this? I still don't know. This just doesn't... Let me see. I'm gonna try. What am I looking at back here? Let me go like this. Okay. Now does it fit? No. It still doesn't look right. Like, look at here. You see this is the Saudi Arabia Peninsula here? And the sword? Come on. Where is it here? It's not even existent here. They completely had to add in the Saudi Arabia Peninsula, because it's not even there. Sri Lanka's on the wrong side. Or wait, no, we mirrored it, so it should be that side. I swear, I forgot. But still, like, North America is almost non-existent right here, if you're going by these dark spots. And then how come, here's another thing, how come this part of the dark spot has been completely left out for the quote-unquote supposed North Pole or islands in the center, but then when you turn it off, it's dark right there? Like, how do you even, like, how do you even move on to underwater features, and much less underwater features that are being compared from Google Earth, which is a globe, and then you're getting to like reification, and you're using a globe model to start verifying things. I mean, you're completely using two different, spaces for one thing. You're using like a flat map or a map that's been wrapped around a ball to verify a flat map, supposedly. I mean, then you're trying to compare two distorted images. So anyway, I still don't see it. But do you see why people think this, or you just don't see it? No, I don't see it. That's what I'm saying. I don't see it, because look, there was a time when I thought it was possible, based on this one video that I watched a long time ago. It looked like, oh, that's interesting to get into, right? But then, and then Vibes of Cosmos channel came out, and as you can see, I showed you, I'm subscribed, I watched that shit. I watched him do all this stuff. I watched the videos as it came out, but like, as time got on, I just was like, and it didn't even really take me that long. It's like, you know what, this is just not, it's just not true. This is just, there's too much manipulation going on to get to this point, and this point is not very good. That's the problem I have with it. First, you have to go through all these arbitrary filters in Photoshop that have different intensities and different settings, which you could set to anything basically that you want. You can just keep tweaking it until you get the start that you want. And then they've added stuff They've taken stuff away. They've left some of the dark spot out, and then they've added other spots in, like the peninsula. I mean, and then what is supposed to be Madagascar? It just looks nothing like it to me. I mean, it is a stretch. It's a stretch. I mean, you're taking arbitrary shapes on the moon, and then they're making them match the continents, which don't match the continents that we know. Like, let's get a AE map in here and then look at that side by side, right? Because that's another thing you don't really see very often, right? Well, they did in Taboo's video, which to me made it even more obvious. So here we go. Here's the Gleason's map. Or, you know what I could do, actually? Let me try this. I think this one will be easier to lay on top. Why does it come in black and white? Cancel. Open. No. Don't save file. But I want it in color. Color. Thank you. Color. Here we go. So I'll close this. This is going to be easier to isolate. So let me take this. Edit, copy, edit, paste. Okay, so here is where the placement actually is. Hardly refutable, right? Oh, well, I guess I have to flip this one because it's all inverted. So, edit, transform, flip. Okay, we'll go inverted. I mean, come on, you guys. Come on, buddy. So, Africa, way huge. Let me make this a little bigger. I'll put this up here. Try to get this down here out of the way. So Australia doesn't even look, it's not even recognizable. Europe, North America, let's see. I mean, the proportions aren't even close to being right. Look at... And then what is this? Big extra landmass. Is this supposed to be... What is the big extra landmass? Is that supposed to be like the hidden continent? Does this show up underwater? So where's the Antarctic Circle on the moon map? Yeah, I don't know. There isn't one. That's what I'm saying. The Antarctica completely disappeared, right? So under South America, you're supposed to have that archipelago or that peninsula that comes out where the McMurdo, blah, 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 and all that is, and that's completely gone. But yet we know that there's land masses there, do we not? Yet there isn't any sort of hint of it there. So, you know, I don't know. There's just too much stuff missing. Too much stuff doesn't match. It's too subjective. The filters that you use to get from the original moon image to get to a high contrast image where you can even start to try to decipher where the continents are is so arbitrary and subjective, again, to whatever settings you use on your Photoshop filter. You could make it look like whatever you wanted to make it look like. Michael Jacko and Dan Butler had an interesting video I watched in June 22. What is it about? They claim Antarctica is a combination of points on the surrounding land masses. Oh. Okay, well, where's the surrounding landmass for Antarctica below South America, which is the most used point to get to Antarctica, is it not? I'm sorry, but that's the most used point, and there's nothing there. So what is it? This little thing is supposed to be the Antarctica? Is that what it is? There's too much manipulation going on. You have to try too hard to make it match. And then after you try so hard to make it match, it still doesn't match. Oh, it's the documentary to Cosmos. Vibes of Cosmos. Let's see. I'll open it. So, okay, well, check this out. How come Australia all of a sudden looks like Australia again? How about I'm gonna bring my moon into that file. How about that? Don't save. I'm gonna bring my moon into that file. Okay? So here's my moon. Boop, boop, boop. I won't even use my altered moon. I'll use a fresh moon. Okay? Fresh moon. Unaltered. And let me get rid of my black background on my moon. Okay? So here... my God, you guys, I just don't get it. All right, so this is supposed to be the whole face of the moon. Tycho craters up here. Yeah? Okay, okay, so this guy's looking at something totally different. Or I have to flip the moon. Okay, hold on. Image. That's where it gets confusing because it has to be flipped. So image, edit, transform, flip. Okay, now we're flipped. So we should be the right orientation. Okay. So now let me make it the same size as the map on this. Oops. We don't want it distorted. It's enough distortion. Okay, so here. Okay. Ba-ba-ba. Da-da-da. 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 Okay, so there. Does everybody agree this is a pretty close to being placed right there on the center? Okay. Let's see. Well, what the hell's going on here? Why is it not right? Okay, I'm gonna duplicate this moon. I'm gonna hide the original moon unaltered, and I'm going to edit the image of this moon. Let's do curves. Let's increase some contrast here, right? We'll do a little bit of that. Image, adjust, brightness, contrast. A little bit more contrast maybe. Okay. That will help bring out the doo-doo. All right. So now we have this altered moon image. So here you can see original and then altered for higher, more brightness and more contrast. Okay. We'll hide this other one. Now let's see. This is weird because check this out. The Tycho crater is right here. I'm going to put a dot where Tycho crater is. Let's just do some things where we'll just mark it. Right? Okay, so here's Tycho crater. Okay. on this map. Right? Tycho crater. Okay, we'll just put that dot right there. So when I take off the moon, look at where Tycho crater is over here. So where's the moon boundary on this? I feel like they've added something. This isn't right. Something's going on. So let me see. So Tycho crater doesn't line up. But let's see. Okay, well, first of all, I just want to have you guys notice that this doesn't even line up to the moon image. Because look at this. We'll just turn it off and on. Okay, so Tycho crater up at the top, not lining up with my Tycho crater. But my land masses seem to be relatively close to where they're putting land masses. I mean, you can see the dark spot here right under where they say that's Africa, right? Maybe it needs to be rotated a little bit more. Like there, look at Australia. Okay, I'll rotate it just a touch. I think that's how it's supposed to be. So Australia, how convenient on the moon map. Let's do a little back and forth. So on the moon map, look here. He just changes the shape of the blotch to make it look like Australia. Right? Okay. How convenient. And this Lemuria, look how close this shit is to China. What is this supposed to be over here? If this is Australia and that's America, so this is supposed to be like Japan, China, right? The eastern countries, right? So, and then they have this giant landmass right next to it. Is this supposed to be like a landmass that is now non-existent? Is it an underwater thing? Why is it here? And how come this doesn't get ignored, but this does? This crazy blotch on this crazy missing darkness on Australia doesn't. Why not? How come that gets ignored, but this doesn't, right? So, okay. Now, again, Africa, you have to bridge the gap here. There's these light spots. There's this huge white crater here, here, here that completely get ignored, right? So that you can, oops, no, that's this one. That completely get ignored so that you can bridge the gap between, you know, this dark spot and that dark spot, so you can make, you know, some sort of Africa shape, although really it's not an Africa shape at all. Then, so let's go over here. Here we have, that is supposed to be like the north, right? The center. This says Greenland and the 4 islands and stuff in the center. Oh, I keep doing the wrong thing. This one. So where does this fall at? You know what I'm saying? How come this dark spot gets ignored, but this doesn't? And now you have this extra landmass. So this spot here gets added to the map, and then this whole blotch right here, which is supposed to be the north, gets completely left out. Arbitrarily, you guys. Arbitrarily. So who decides which part gets added and which part doesn't? You're confusing me now? Exactly, because it's confusing. Because it doesn't make any sense. It's not based in reality. And what the hell happened to North America on this map? I mean, this is how I know that Americans didn't make this. Because this person has no idea what America is supposed to look like. This thing over here to this. Okay. And we'll roll this around. Right? Oh wait, this is flipped back to normal. So this is a mirrored moon map image. So I gotta flip my thing back around. So image, edit, transform, flip. Okay, so we'll make it back to the right way again. Okay. rotate. Okay. And again, what's going on here? I mean, North America, like half of it's gone. And then there's some crazy landmass here. By the way, that is so close to Asia. You don't think that people wouldn't have seen a landmass that large in the Pacific? I actually do think that there's a landmass missing in the Pacific. I think it's possible for them to hide it, but it's not going to be that big, you guys. I mean, it's not going to be bigger than North America and South America combined. I mean, this is almost as big as Europe and Asia right here, like a whole nother landmass taking up the whole ocean. Not to mention the time zones. Look at these wonky time zones. Does the sun go really, really fast on this side and then slow on this side? I mean, the time zones don't make any sense, right? So, anyway, anybody have any questions? That map is more made up than the moon. The Tibetan, which map? Why would Polaris be on the moon map? Who found 1,000 islands near Japan? Do you understand how much shipping goes on right up next to the coast of countries? Like when you look at shipping lanes, all the ships hug the coastline of the countries. They really hug the coastline. They're very rarely are they out in wide ass open ocean. I decided to let the hive mind work on it for a while. I agree there is too much grasping for the prospect for hidden lands. I will admit it's highly interesting, but also a path to make money fabricating myth and talking with bold confidence. Yes, exactly. Good to do some self-research about this. It's fun stuff, but I refuse to get frustrated about it or led into a time-sucking rabbit hole. That's what I'm saying. That's why I don't really spend a lot of time on these things. It's too early to commit to this moon map, and too much confidence can ripple credibility. If we get too confident about this, it's true we are a long way from understanding it. The claim is that the moon map is an ancient version of previous lands within our realm. Could be. Well, it also could be bullshit. Lands that are under the water or wiped out, possibly. Yeah. I mean, it, you know, could be this, could be that. What if? It's a big what if. And I don't like to, it's not to discourage anybody from exploring stuff like this, but here's the thing, like, you gotta stop yourself at a certain point, like, if you're working on stuff like this and be like, okay, well, how far from reality am I getting by going through these certain steps, right? So, yes, this map is detailed, but it's detailed because this guy made it that way. It's not detailed because that's how it is in reality. Anyways, I just hope that I give you guys something to think about in this regard. And, you know, I can't validate this AE map either. However, it does work well when, like, and I'll go back to commerce, okay? Anything that's related with shipping, money, the economy, anything that goes on between countries, as far as like commerce and stuff, you know, things that happen in reality, things that are monetarily driven, which, I mean, if something's, you got to follow the money. And just about any sort of deception, you know, trace the money. If this map does not lend to, you know, actual reality, like things that are done in commerce can't be done on this map, that they are on this map. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? You know, because those things will either verify or debunk whatever it is you have a question about most of the time. Woke up early enough to see this live. 16 Alpha V, I'm going late and I'm also about to wrap it up. That's hilarious that you think you woke up early and I'm almost done. I find that really funny. Thank you for trying, but it's not a strong case. I can't roll with this. Okay. Listen, Capono number 2. If you have to completely disregard, if you're okay with disregarding all of the problems and points that I brought up to move forward with the moon map, that's your prerogative. But I'm not going to do it. And I'm not going to waste my time on it. I mean, I'm sorry. It just doesn't work in reality. And it also doesn't match when I'm sitting here putting my picture that I took of the moon over this map, and it doesn't even match my moon. So something weird is going on here with this map. Anyway, you have fun with that. Yeah, my longest stream, I know. Because I started talking about this stupid moon map. Anyway. Yeah. So that's that. Cheers, James. Thanks for the tip. The personal walk in our limited time here is more important. Yeah, I hear you. See, that's why I'm saying I would rather focus on things that become a solution to all the problems that we're identifying in the world rather than look at this, fantasy story. Not that there's anything wrong with fantasy, I still like some science fiction, and I'll watch a movie once in a great while. Ted and I will sit down and we'll watch a flick or something one night. It's okay, but as far as my investigation of the realm and where we live, I don't want to deal with fantasy. I don't want to deal with fantasy. I don't want to deal with inaccuracies. I don't want to deal with things that have no evidence, no backing, no value. I mean, this is just my opinion. You guys do whatever you want to do. Swallow a blue pill every once in a while. Fantasy's okay. Stories are okay. But you have to just know that that's what they are. You know what I'm saying? You can enjoy Star Wars, but just know you're never going to get in the Millennium Falcon, and you're never going to go, travel 8 parsecs to a new solar system and go fight against the Death Star, right? That's not going to fucking happen. But it's okay to watch those movies and enjoy them, as entertainment, okay? Maybe this is your entertainment. Maybe as somebody who looks into stuff, this is your entertainment. Maybe you can't enjoy normal entertainment anymore, and this is your entertainment. Okay, fine. But don't be coming around here acting like that shit is real, because it ain't.